Hey gang, we're going to talk some more Zendikards. Let's see what's next on the list. Relic Golem. All right. Relic Golem, 6/6 for 3. What's the drawback? Relic Golem can't attack or block unless an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. And for 2, you can. It's a millstone. Interesting. So this is a creature millstone that costs 1 more mana. We just played 2 mana artifact that has 2 tap, target player mills 2 cards. So for 1 more mana, well, first, Millstone may be considered better as a mill card than Relic Golem because it's not targetable by creature removal. Making a traditionally enchantment or artifact card into a creature with that ability is generally making that card worse because it makes it more vulnerable to removal. And vulnerability to removal generally makes utility enchantments and artifacts worse, right? That's you're playing them because they're coming at the game from a different angle, whereas creatures are straight on. However, how good is this? So let's see. In a way, this reminds me of Suspend, except it costs 2 is the problem. So if you do this on your own, you're spending 3, 8, 9. It takes 11 mana before this can attack or block. And really does nothing until then. So I'm not super excited about this for limited. However, I think if you're doing a whole thing, if you're synergizing it like if you're doing the thing, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. But yeah, in a vacuum, this does not do enough. In a vacuum, it's a 3 mana do nothing that eventually becomes a 6/6. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, but eventually it's a 3/3, it's a 6/6 for 3. But if by the time it's a 6/6, it's at the point in a game where a 6/6, whatever, if you cast a 6/6 for 6, you'd be like, okay. So that's my problem with it, is that by the time it's relevant as a 6/6, it's already a fair price for that time in the game. If there is a ton of mill, and this can be active on like turn 5, then that's interesting. But yeah, it's really not good early. It's only good late, and I'm not into cards that are only good late. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. We're going to see what kind of decks are in the format and how easy it is to get somebody to threshold 8 to actually make this valuable. And then it's all chumpable. It's not like it has trample even. Give me at least a 6/6 for 6, whatever Colossus has trample. So I am not sold in a vacuum at all. And I'm not even sold conceptually with a bunch of milling cards unless it's just hyper prevalent, and basically picking up a few of these just means we're going to 2-spell on turn 6 and have... So if I'm 2-spelling on turn 6 and I make a 6/6 and something else, then we're talking, right? Then this card is holding its weight. But that's what I want to see. I want to see reliably 2-spelling it on turn 6 and having it attack on turn 7. If we can do that, I'm in. Also worth noting, as a creature, it can't mill on its first turn. Like with 5 mana, yeah, Millstone, you get 4 mana, you can cast the Millstone and mill. And the point with Golem, you can't mill on the first turn of its availability. So there's that as well. All right. Next up, Charix. Sounds like a red Pokemon. What does this red Pokemon do? This red Pokemon is a blue crab. 2 blue for a 0/17 legendary creature, Leviathan crab. So immediately at 17 toughness, it makes me want to abuse toughness matters, but let's see what's going on here. Spells your opponents cast that target Charix, the Raging Isle, cost 2 more to cast. Okay, so it's got a little protection from targeted removal. And for 3, it gets +X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control. Hey, it can get power. So activated for 3. Like, what's a typical thing here? This is... I don't like this card because it's making me do awkward math. Fenax EDH All-Star. I don't know what Fenax does. Is that the toughness? What is... Creatures you control... Oh, here it is. As long as your Devotion to creatures you control have tap, target player mills X, where X is... Okay, yeah, that's a solid Fenax interaction. I mean, right? This is a red Pokemon. I want to get this altered to be a red Pokemon. That's my new goal in life. Get an altered Charix that has been made into some sort of red Pokemon. Yeah, that's what I meant, Cardinator. I see this and I think butt fight cards. I wanna Doran's the siege tower or whatever, something that makes creatures deal damage equal to their toughness. But really, get it, basically, Charix attacking for power equal to the islands you control seems pretty strong. I mean, often this is gonna, in the late game, this can attack as a 6/11. Attacking as a 6/11 seems pretty good. Blocking as a 6/11 seems pretty good. So obviously, it points a little more towards control, though. So if I take this, I'm gonna want to be a little bit well, maybe you don't need to be control. Like, it can be. The trouble is that it costs mana to attack, so it's not, you can't attack with this successfully or meaningfully on like turn 5 without doing a low amount of damage and wrecking your whole turn. That's why I think of this as more control-y, even though obviously it can end up doing a lot of damage. It ends up doing a lot of damage late. So I think of this as a control card that gets into the red zone later on in the game. And yeah, Hat calls, I have 18 islands in play and activate it. Excellent call. Thanks, Herschel. Herschel pointing out something I didn't observe, which is important about the card. Whoa. Accidentally lowered my desk there for a second. So Charix it's not a tap cost, and that would be bad. If it tapped to do it, it would be only a defensive card. But since you can activate it twice, even with something like, so let's say you had 4 islands, you could go activate it twice and make it an 8/11, right? 6 mana to make it an 8/11 is reasonable as well. So keep in mind multiple activations. You could even activate it 3 times at 9 and do something sweet there. Just be careful, because as you do pile up the multiple activations, you might actually find your way to minus 17. Yeah, do my math. Hear what I mean? Not my bad math. Math is for anybody but me. Cool card, though. Fun to see big numbers and power toughness like that. And R&D certainly gets to chalk another one off the list. So you can imagine make yourself a simple spreadsheet. X-axis, Y-axis, just numbers, and you can start filling in creature types that have printed power and toughness equal to your XY axes and see what cards are missing. And I tell you, there are people in R&D who want to make cards that fill in that chart, whether it's correct or not. There's something about filling in the box and making making a creature that has numbers that have never existed before is a thing for some people. Anyway, we're gonna call it, though. Let us say thank you, YouTube friends, for hanging out for that talk here. And actually, I didn't really say thank you to my YouTube friends for that event. Maybe I'll do a separate one for that. Anyway, thanks for hanging out for this card exploration. Looking forward to this set, and we will start drafting it next week. Right on. Bye, everybody. And YouTube friends, I'm off for the next few days, so I'll probably put up some older content. You might see some drafts from older sets that I haven't released yet that are around because, hey, free content. Herschel wants one more card. All right, sure. Except I gotta re-say goodbye, but I'll give Nullpriest. Maybe misspelled. There it is. Nullpriest of Oblivion. 1 and a black for a 2/1 at rare, and it has kicker. So it starts as a Menace lifelink. I'm in for a Menace lifelinker at 2 mana. This is like a supercharged, what do you call it? Child of Night, right? Child of Night, but with Menace. I'm in. And what else do we get? When Nullpriest of Oblivion enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Huge! I was waiting for it just to say return to hand. Then it probably would have been like an uncommon or something. Oh, but at rare, they can go for battlefield, and this is serious business. Is this constructed playable? Seems excellent. So, yeah, pretty. Anything that's missing eyes is kind of creepy, right? Whenever you make a creature that looks like it should have eyes there and doesn't. Always weird. Anyway, yeah, no vampire deck. I don't need vampire synergy. I'm fine with a 2/1 Menace lifelink for 2 that if I happen to have 6 mana lying around gets me a free card from my creature card from my graveyard. That seems amazing. We're going to be windmill slamming this whenever it shows up. Pack 1, pick 1. And it is a cleric. Yeah, it does have some of that D&D type going on. So Nullpriest, wow. Get in my deck. Is it an A? Probably a. This kind of upside feels like A- level to me. Yeah, this is a sweet card. I like it. A fine way to end, Herschel. Thanks. So 1 extra bonus card for you all, thanks to Herschel. And now I will continue my farewells and say thank you so much for hanging out for the card reviews, and we'll catch you next week for some actual play.